Why did my mom start crying when I found that photo under the floorboards? When I was 9, my parents sat me down at the kitchen table with a pen and a blank sheet of paper. Pick a name, my mom said softly, forcing a smile. Something new, something you like. I laughed. I thought it was a game, like when we played pretend, but they were serious. Dead serious. Dad leaned in. You'll start using it at your new school. New ID. New everything. I didn't understand. My old name wasn't broken. They called it a fresh start. We had just moved again. That was normal by then. But this time, they seemed nervous. They didn't unpack for days. Mom slept, with her shoes on. Dad kept the curtains closed at all hours that I chose Eli. Short. Easy. Something about it felt right. Like I was putting on armor I didn't know I'd need as I got older. Weird cracks started to form. Like finding old birthday cards tucked in a box in the garage. Cards addressed to Danny. I asked my mom once who Danny was. She looked at me too long. Then just said, no one you know. Then there were the photos. A box labeled camping. Trip, buried in a closet. The people in the pictures were us, but every time I showed up, my face was scratched out with ink. In one, I was standing beside a man I didn't recognize. He had his hand on my shoulder. That photo was torn in. Half that I showed it to Dad that he took it from me and burned it in the kitchen sink without a word. Years passed. I learned not to ask questions. I buried Danny like they wanted me to. Until I was 23, and a Facebook message changed everything. IT was from a woman named Lila. Her profile picture was blurry, but her message was sharp. I think you're my nephew. You went missing when you were 6. Your name was Danny. Please, if this is you, I need to talk to you before it's too late. I felt cold. Like something cracked open in my chest that I didn't answer right away. I drove to my parents' house that night. They were watching TV like nothing had ever happened and I asked them calmly, who was Lila? They froze. I saw something in my mom's eyes I hadn't seen since I was a kid. Fear. Dad stood up, angry. You don't know what you're talking about. But I did. I knew exactly what I was talking about. And I wasn't 9 anymore. I left that night. I met Lila at a coffee shop the next morning. She showed me pictures of me, of her, of my parents. Not the ones I grew up with. My real parents. She said they had been good people. That one night, we were driving back from a wedding when a car ran us off the road. It wasn't random. My father had testified against someone powerful. The crash killed them both. I was 6. And I was supposed to die with them. But I didn't point. 2 people found me first. Not strangers. Friends of my parents. People they trusted in case anything ever went wrong. People I knew today as mom and dad. They didn't call the police. They didn't alert anyone. They ran. Changed everything. Hit me to keep me safe. At first. But they were also scared I'd remember. That I'd talk. That whoever had done this might still be watching. Oh, they made me change my name. My story. My past. They loved me, in their way. But they betrayed the truth to protect a version of me they could control. I left that meeting shaken. Not because I was angry, but because I realized something. I wasn't just Eli. I wasn't just Danny. I was both. And I finally had a name that no one could take from me again.